What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be back on the Can-Am Commander. I'm going to go ahead and show you. I've already started taking stuff apart and just going to give you an idea of what we've already started doing. I figured it'd be a waste of time just doing a detailed bit by bit part showing you taking this apart when it's super easy and it's easy to explain. So let's go over here and I'm going to show you what we've done so far. Alright, so basically today we're replacing the steering rack. It's been needed. I've been putting it off. Finally it broke. As you can see, well, it's hard to move it because everything's loose. But if you look in here, hold on, let me rotate you up. There's a bolt here, bolt here, bolt here. I think, nope, there's only 3 on this side, 2 on the other side. And basically you take those loose and they're going to drop this out of here. Of course, self-explanatory, you got to take the inner tie rod and outer tie rod loose. This one's got heavy duty tie rods, so of course it's a little bit easier to do than most. Kind of gets everything out the way. Yeah, look at how wore out this is. This is another thing. Y'all need to pay attention to these bushings on these control arms, because the ones on mine are absolutely freaking wore out. The only problem I've ran into so far is getting this steering shaft off. This is an absolute nightmare because it's a solid shaft that goes all the way up, so you have to take this down to get this loose. And then of course repeat the same step twice. I don't think it has a center spline because it just kind of free spins anyway. There's no clock spring or anything like that, so there's no need for it to really set in a certain place, but I'm not sure. But here, I'll go to the other side and show you everything's still together. And yes, we're doing this on my trailer because it's a lot easier than doing it in my carport. Alright, so of course you see here I've got Heim set up on mine because it's a lot better than the factory stuff. This is going to be, I think, a 17 millimeter both sides, and then of course I just took it loose from here. It was a lot easier for me, but yeah, look at that. See that? See how loose all this stuff is? I mean, dude, it's insane. I don't understand how this thing didn't fall apart sooner. But yeah, look, you can see the plate in the rack where it's been abused and nobody's really took care of it. And this will be a lot easier to take apart than the other side, for sure. But let's see if I can get you in here to show you. If you look right there, there's the nut for the top one, and there's a bolt that goes through here. None of this is welded. Keep that in mind because you're going to have to remove it. And then you can see the other bolt right there. Like I said, they're already loose. I pretty much decided to go ahead and take all this stuff loose before I recorded, just to show y'all one side apart, the other side get together still. Of course, we're still waiting on our new rack to come in. That should be here Tuesday, but I want to go ahead and get this removed. That way it's out of the way and I can just throw the new one in and ride it around. It's still not going to be ride ready because, like I said, you saw the control arm bushings over there. I got to replace those. I've got a couple bad hubs, and even the clutch I got to take back apart because the clutch is pretty messed up. Let's step over here and show you again the clutch on this thing. Hold on. As you can see, look how rough this thing is. This is not supposed to look like this. If you could see, like, the inside, I polished that back up. See how clean it is? That's how it's supposed to look all the way around. But of course, when the belt caught fire, it ruined all that. And you can see it burned through the box. And I think I got the box. Yeah, I got it right over here. I mean, everything is charred in this thing. Look how hot it got. Look at this. There's just stuff burned everywhere. It burned holes in the box, burned a hole right there. I mean, look, there's some of the charred belt left. I mean, just absolute destruction. I mean, it was bad. Super bad. But let me get all this taken apart. We'll show you what it looks like when it's all out of there. And I'll pick you guys back up from here. Alright, we've got everything back together, minus the steering rack, getting it prepared for whenever we do the install. As you can see, it's completely gone. The steering shaft was a nightmare to get off. I'm actually going to have to buy a new one of those. The U-joint ended up being wore out, so I'm not going to put it back together like that. I'm just going to go ahead and buy a new steering shaft and put that on. The wheels are back on it. What we're going to do is get it off the trailer, put it in the carport, and just let it sit. It's going to be like 4 or 5 days before we get the parts we need for it, so it's not a big ordeal. I think just leave it sit here. But until then, we're just going to be on hold. But hang tight, we're going to get these parts in. Once we get them in, we're going to get them put on, get this video wrapped up. Alright everyone, we're back. I finally got our parts in. This is going to be, it's been about a week, I would say, maybe if that, since we got everything in for the Can-Am as far as to get the front end back together. We are going to have to take the new rack apart and swap out the tie rods on it, because I don't have any outers for the new rack. I didn't think about it when I ordered it, but the factory ones are not going to work with my setup, so I'm going to have to use the old ones for now. And what I'm going to do is just order a new set of the heavy duty ones. And if you didn't see those prior in the video, I'm actually going to go ahead and grab one real quick. Where's one at? Ah, here we go. I'm going to take you over here to the light so I can kind of show you. But as you can see, it's a Heim setup. It's pretty heavy duty. These are kind of wore out. What I want to do is order a new set for it, because this Heim's just kind of loose, and on top of that, it makes a lot of noise, and it hasn't had grease in it in a long time. So I'm gonna put some grease on these to keep them quiet, keep them kind of good for a little while. Kind of soak everything in WD-40 to free it back up to switch to the new rack assembly. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and actually unbox it real quick. I'm going to take my little nifty light, set it right there, kind of light this up for you guys. Give me just a second, let me set y'all down. I don't know if that's going to be a good angle to see it. I'm just going to pick you up in a second and we'll leave you there for now. Now this is just a cheap eBay rack. It's not anything special, but the quality is there. They did send us some stickers. Let's see, Monster Performance Parts, and it's like ATV Parts Connection. I don't know if that's the companies that supply this stuff, but they sent stickers with it, so I'm assuming they have some sort of affiliation. Let's go ahead and get her out the box. Hold tight, I'm actually going to grab the other rack. Alright, so as you can see, just a second. As you can see, yeah, see how this is designed to take the other tie rods, and this is, I think, just a protective sleeve to protect the ends of that for shipment purposes, because I don't think these have anything to do with putting those on unless you can install them this way, and that kind of beefs it up. I don't know if it's going to be like a reverse thread kind of deal though, or if there's any other threads in there. Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. Yeah, make it like a lock nut. No, it wouldn't even work. Oh well, it don't matter. But regardless, what I need to do, because length don't matter, but this is actually in very good shape. I really do like this rack. It's really nice. I hate that I'm gonna have to take all the new stuff off and put this old crap on. And actually, I'm gonna go grab the other one. Here we go. Oh, my goodness, guys, it's gonna be a long video. I'm gonna burn a lot of time. Let's see. I think this was like a beefed up style aftermarket one, or it may have been the original. I don't know, but then look at that. That's wore out. And you can see all the movement in this thing. It's toast. And this one, you grab it, there ain't that movement there. This is of course a lot bigger than that one. It's gonna kind of make me wonder if it's not gonna hold up as well as the factory one did. I don't see any variations in mounting points. Okay, give me a few minutes. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and get the boots off of there. That way I can start removing the inner tie rods, because I want to go ahead and install the inners before we put all this in there, because it's a nightmare to do it inside the Can-Am. So give me just a few minutes. I'm gonna cut these off, get the zip ties off. I got zip ties to reinstall the boots, so that's not a problem. Once we get that done, I'm gonna pick y'all back up. Give me just a second. Crappy news. The inners that are the heavy duty ones from the rack that I took out of the side by side are not going to work. They're not going to work due to the fact that, one, I guess the rack that was in it was an aftermarket one that came specifically set up to run those heavy duty tie rods. That's the only thing I could think, because it doesn't fit this one at all, which sucks, but it is what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one in here. I was hoping to ride this thing tomorrow. Doesn't look like it, unfortunately, unless I can find somebody locally that has these outers decently priced. Highly unlikely, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed. I'm still going to try to look around tomorrow and see if I can find some, but we're going to go ahead and get it back together now. I've already took the liberty of setting it in there. It is not set where it needs to be. I got to flip it over and start putting some bolts in and get everything going, which they sent me a full kit of bolts. So we get brand new bolts for the new rack, which is great. So let's go ahead and get this set in. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of bolt it into place, get that steering shaft set on, that way it's not that much of a hassle, and then I'll pick you guys back up, show you everything, get everything buttoned up. Hang tight. We're slowly making progress. I actually got little Shane to come over and help out. He's actually tightening up the rack bolts where the steering shaft is. I've already got these over here somewhat snug, so he's getting that tightened up and buttoned up for us. Hopefully have all this back together on the ground. Of course, in the morning I'm gonna have to get up early and source outer tie rods for it. I hate that I have to do it like that, but unfortunately this rack is not compatible with my Super ATV stuff, like I said earlier in the video. So let's hope for the best. I really want to ride this thing tomorrow. It's supposed to be 80 something degrees outside, and what is it, sunny all day tomorrow? Is it supposed to rain, sunny? It's supposed to be 80 something sunny, right?
You're asking the wrong person.
I don't know.
I'm not a weatherman.
Okay, I'm not either. I'm just saying. But we're going to get this buttoned up, get the wheels back on it. That way it's on the ground. I'm probably going to charge the battery, do something with the clutch here in a minute. Get that all squared away tonight. That way I got to do it in the morning. And I could, you know, pretty much put all my time into looking for parts for this thing in the morning. Let's get this done. Oh, we got everything back together. This video is actually a couple days later. We ended up going riding and had a little fun. You'll see that in the next video. Kind of a little crazy, but not too crazy, because I want to be careful with it. I'd like to go ahead and actually thank Austin, my cousin, for getting this thing put back together for me. He let me borrow some tie rods from him. That way we can make that ride. He made that fortunate for us. So let's go over here. I'm going to show you all everything now that it's back on the bike. Alright, as you can see, let's climb in here. And of course these are old because these came off of another bike. I borrowed these. I got my new ones on the way. These are going to go back to their home where they came from, but for now they're just going to sit on here. But as you can see, that new rack is in there and in its happy new home. We're going to go over here. I'm going to show you the steering wheel play now. I almost got this thing perfectly straight. I mean, look at the steering wheel. Look at the wheels. I mean, it's still got a little play from the steering shaft, but all in all, 100 times better. Rode better. Way better performance out of it. But that is a wrap for today's video. Like I said, be looking forward to the next one where we're actually taking this thing out and ripping it. That should be sometime in the next couple of days. I'll have that up for you guys to watch. Like I said, we do have stickers in stock. If you would like one, of course, just hit us up in the email, chats, comment, whatever you like. We have it all there for access. Of course, if you like these footages that you see, drop a like, give us a subscribe, and of course, as always, have a great day. Thanks for watching.